He and his cohorts giddy when an alleged neo-Nazi sympathizer killed counter-protester Heather Heyer. In their minds, the race war they wanted was beginning to materialize.
What's more disturbing than the fact that virtually everything in our world is fake? From the worthless fiat currency banknotes in our pockets, to the illusions they try to sell us through taxpayer-funded, government-sucking front organizations like NASA's so-called space program, to the reality TV shows and fake news media through which they attempt to program us, even down to the modified and poisoned foods they want to shove down our throats. What's more disturbing than all this fakery is that most people believe it's all real. And truly, almost everything in our world is a lie. The best way to find out who's behind those lies is to follow the money. Qui bono? Who benefits? One of the largest, most widely accepted promoters of fakery currently on this planet is CNN. These people will lie to you in just about any situation for just about any reason imaginable. One of the most startling things this supposed news organization is responsible for peddling are the incessant calls to war and the constant promotion of division. In this segment from yesterday entitled "The Victims in America's State of Hate," CNN pretends to care about the existence of hatred in a country that's divided by political and social ideologies which are mostly promoted by CNN. So in essence, these charlatans are engaging in Hegelian dialectic practices where they create a problem by injecting crap into the minds of the unthinking masses, wait for the expected fever-pitch reaction, and then they step in to offer a segmented, pre-packaged, on-air solution. In this virtue signaling puff piece, the participants in the counterfeit news network's fake news machine, actors Wolf Blitzer and Sarah Seidner, pretend to be the moral correspondents taking an impartial look at so-called hate crimes as they and their highly paid colleagues continue promoting the very hate they claim to be exposing.
Our national correspondent Sarah Seidner is joining us one more time. Sarah, you've been taking a very close look at all of this. What are you seeing?
Can you even get any more fake than Wolf Blitzer?
It's really distressing, Wolf. I mean, hatred is being exposed almost unlike we've ever seen it before because of social media and cell phones. But of course, those devices don't actually create hate. They just capture it. Now, what you're about to see, you're going to hear some racial slurs. We did that only to show you what real Americans are experiencing in this country in a rising state of hate.
All these segments that they produce are not to show you the truth, but to promote their agenda and to rake in ad revenue. Remember, this is a corporation that isn't interested in presenting facts. They're interested in continuing with their Operation Mockingbird propaganda push to steer the minds of the masses.
We're gonna kill all of you.
Across America, racism and anger once hidden in the shadows, now pouring out into the light. In Santa Monica, a racist tirade over a parking space. A message for Muslims in a car in North Dakota.
We're gonna kill every one of you Muslims.
A black Army veteran targeting and killing white police officers in Dallas. A landscaper abused in Los Angeles.
Why do you hate us? Because we're Mexicans?
You sure you lied to me?
Words of hate which seem to be banished, now brandished more and more often. The FBI says in 2017, hate crimes shot up 17%.
Notice they weren't specific here on what constitutes hate crime. Of course there's hate in this world, but if CNN wants to highlight significant, far-reaching hate outside of these pockets of crazy people who can't control their emotions, why don't they take their cameras and station them outside the Federal Reserve and the domestic terror cell known as the IRS? There's the genesis of true hatred and criminality on our planet, but they won't because that won't serve their purposes to keep money flowing into their pockets.
The motivation for nearly 60% of those, the government says, was race, ethnicity, or ancestry.
Did you catch the source for CNN's stats there? The government says. Well, if you know the government says it, it must be true, right?
She didn't see it coming.
Kevin Dunn's favorite aunt, Vicki Jones, had beaten cancer, but she could not survive hate. 67-year-old Jones and 69-year-old Maurice Stollard shot dead while grocery shopping, targeted because of their skin color, police say. They were black, the alleged shooter white. A white witness armed with a gun told his son what the shooter said while fleeing.
He said, please don't shoot or I won't shoot you. He said that whites don't kill whites.
What do you think about what was said?
It hurts. It's sad. It's terrible.
Actually, you know what is sad and terrible? It's that CNN has had so many actors sit there in front of their cameras and spread their lies that if something genuinely tragic ever did happen, people can't even be confident that they're telling the truth or if they're just promoting another lie to push their agenda. That's what's sad and terrible.
People have the right to just exist.
The suspect, police say, could have caused far more carnage. Pastor Kevin Nelson says a parishioner saw him earlier at their church door.
He bangs on it and pulls on it, then he backs up with his hand on the gun. So whoever would have opened it would have possibly gotten shot and killed.
His church began locking its doors after white supremacist Dylan Roof entered this predominantly black church, massacring 9 people as they prayed. Ken Parker knows something about the hate that motivated Dylan Roof. A Navy veteran, Parker says he was out of work and without direction. He joined the Ku Klux Klan and later a neo-Nazi group. Their biggest selling point, making him feel he was important, part of a bigger cause.
Now guys, just take a look at this motley crew dressed in their Halloween costumes. This is mental derangement. And CNN's sitting there trying to paint this like it's some kind of serious, widespread situation. I say let these people keep on doing what they're doing. And when they commit their heartless acts of violence, eliminate them. Let them keep wearing their funny little costumes. It just makes them easier to identify. I mean, do you guys know anybody in your life who has a mindset like this? And yet CNN chooses to focus on all these small pockets of insane racists while they neglect the bigger stories that spread more death, disease, and destruction. Why don't they ever expose Monsanto? I personally care more about the fact that some organization steals a portion of my wealth from every single one of my paychecks. I care more about things like who the hell started the wildfires out in California? Who's responsible for spraying all that crap in the air? How the hell are we going to stop the international banking cartel from securing a tighter grip on this planet? What are we going to do about the UN's population control measures in Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030? But CNN's going to sit there and act like neo-Nazis are a serious threat to your way of life. And their fakery is even beyond what they say. It's also about what they fail to say.
At the time, Barack Obama was president. Some white supremacists touted the first black president as the #1 threat to white people.
And we would even joke amongst ourselves, like, hey, we're going to send President Obama a honorary membership to the Klan because he's our biggest recruiting tool.
Then came the election of President Donald J. Trump. White nationalists cheered his anti-immigration rhetoric. Racists who feared what they call the browning of America began believing President Trump was the answer to their prayers.
They want to have an all-white ethno-state where white people just live by themselves.
7 months after Trump's inauguration, Parker virtually broke, paid $30 to help fill a bus of racists headed to Charlottesville, Virginia, for a protest about a Confederate monument. They dubbed it the Hate Bus, reminiscent of a bus from the 1960s created by another neo-Nazi.
On paper, we were just going up there to like stand up for the white race, but honestly, I think everybody was just going to, fight.
Guys, this is so kindergarten and myopic, I can't even go on with this story. These CNN segments are diversion tactics designed to hide the real death and destruction going on in our world that are actually promoted by the misreporting and nonsense of mainstream CIA-controlled outlets like CNN. It's all a sideshow to keep you and I distracted from what's really going on. It's designed to keep us divided and deceived so they can continue to plunder our wealth and control our lives. I'll drop the link to CNN's video in the description. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Guys, thanks for watching. I create at least one new video every day. If you get something out of this content and you want to be alerted when I upload new material, subscribe to High Impact Vlogs, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. Because the specter of censorship and termination looms over channels like mine, be sure to subscribe to my free private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. And if you think it's worth helping the cause of truth here on this channel, you can support my work on Patreon or PayPal, or you can grab a hard-hitting shirt from the most politically incorrect shirt store on the planet. There are over 100 kick-ass designs, and I'm adding new ones every week. All these links are in the description and in the pinned comment. Remember, don't just believe anything and keep questioning everything. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored video.